Verse 12 issues a command. Walk about Zion and go round about her. Tell the towers thereof. Psalm 48 verse 12. Walk about Zion calls the people to action. They must move through the city. The phrase, and go round about her, reinforces the instruction. They must count the defensive towers. These towers stood at strategic points along the walls. They provided protection and surveillance. The command to count them emphasizes their number and strength. They should discern what God has preserved. The towers still stand because God defended them. The assembled kings did not destroy them. God's protection kept them intact. The towers remained standing. Jerusalem survived the threat. This examination builds faith. The people witness God's faithfulness with their own eyes. They do not rely on distant reports or second-hand accounts. Verse 13 continues the inspection. Mark ye well her bulwarks, consider her palaces, that ye may tell it to the generation following. Psalm 48, verse 13. Mark ye well her bulwarks commands careful observation. The bulwarks refer to the fortifications and ramparts. The people must examine these defenses. Consider her palaces adds another element. The palaces represent the seat of government and the center of leadership. These buildings also survived the threat. That ye may tell it to the generation following reveals the purpose. This examination prepares people to testify. They will tell their children what God has done. The next generation must hear about this deliverance. They must learn how God protected Jerusalem. This verse establishes a pattern for passing down truth. The current generation witnesses God's work. They examine the evidence and then they testify to their children. This pattern appears throughout Scripture. Moses commanded Israel to teach their children about God's law and his mighty acts. Joshua had set up memorial stones so that future generations would ask about them. The psalmist follows the same principle. God's works must not be forgotten. Each generation must tell the next. Verse 14 provides the conclusion. For this God is our God forever and ever. He will be our guide even unto death. Psalm 48, verse 14. For this God points back to everything described in the psalm. This God, who defended Jerusalem, belongs to his people. The expression, our God, declares possession and relationship. He is not a distant deity. He is our God. The relationship is personal. The phrase, forever and ever, establishes the duration. God remains faithful across all generations. This verse connects God's past actions to his future faithfulness. Because God defended Jerusalem, his people know he will continue to guide them. His character does not change. What he did before, he will do again. The God who scattered kings will lead his people through every trial. The God who preserved the city will preserve individual lives. This confidence rests on God's established faithfulness. The people do not hope in an unknown deity. They trust the God who has already proven himself. The phrase, even unto death, carries significance. Death represents the ultimate human limitation. All earthly strength fails at death, but God's guidance extends even there. He does not abandon his people when they face their ultimate moment. This promise would later find fuller expression in the New Testament, where death itself is defeated through Christ's resurrection.